Hey guys, welcome back. It's Maverick here with another episode of Code Geass. So, at the end of last episode, we had a shocking revelation, and that is Lelouch is actually of royalty. Now, 17th in line, but still royalty nonetheless, right? Which really makes the whole situation even more ironic considering he's working to topple the Empire, and yet his friend, I guess you could say, close buddy, close acquaintance, close friend, Suzaku is currently fighting for it, even though he's the one that's getting invaded and all that. But I guess in this episode, we might be seeing an origin story. If the pacing continues like this, you know, typically this is the time when we go into a flashback as to what happened to Lelouch's past and whatnot. Or we're gonna save that mystery for later, and first things first, we're gonna see how he gets himself out of this current situation, right? Now, it seems that, you know, there are a few options, right? Obviously, he can directly mind control the third prince. I think, though, with Lelouch's intelligence, what if he wants to do is really overthrow the Empire. He's not going to make any big moves immediately. You gotta plan these things out, right? You gotta, you know, assess the situation. You gotta assess your own abilities. You know, what is this weird thing that you have right now, and then at least play it safe. Lay on the lowdown for a little while here. Then again, this might all be some baseless theories because, hey, the third prince was the one who developed this current mind control mechanism, right? So potentially he might have a countermeasure. Well, we'll see in the episode. All right, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Wait, are we seriously going to have this recap every single episode? Area 11. Okay. I guess probably in the future, I'll be skipping both that, you know, opening scene and the opening theme as well. Because if it's just the same thing that they're gonna say every single episode, I think we can save ourselves some time. I guess in the future I'll take a quick sneak peek to see if that's the case. And if it is, I'll be cutting both these parts out. I typically don't like to skip stuff directly within the episode, just in case people are syncing their own videos up to me, so you don't need to sync twice. Alright, make sure I'm recording. Alright. I mean, the title of this episode is called The False Classmate, so... I wonder who's that talking about. Lelouch? Or this girl? Is she going to become a classmate of them? And I presume that girl is Mom, right? The deceased queen? Maybe? Though I guess that might not be true, considering she has green eyes. Well, we'll see. Right. He's gonna be like the Emperor. Ah, the second prince and princess. Alright. Oh, they know. Okay. It seems that they don't have any memories of being mind controlled. Is that really the smart thing to do, though? Okay, so they're of the student council? I see. Okay. So suddenly back to normal life, eh? He really killed him. Really? Isn't that just attracting unwanted attention way too early? Although I guess there's no guarantee that his mind control ability would get him out of that situation. I guess. Purebloods. So there's non-purebloods in the royalty? Or do they mean, like, purebloods as an only nobility? Oh, really? Huh. Really? Okay, so the false classmate is her, eh? And she's nobility as well, eh? Oh. So here we have a mixed blood. Oh, and the childhood friend is gonna be like, why is he talking to her? So it can't work if someone's looking at it? See, that's why you need to first try out how these abilities work, man. And this is Lelouch's sister, I believe. I mean, this is the girl we saw in the flashback, right? Yeah. Wait, so she was there all the way back in World War I? Although, do they have World War I here? Makes you wonder. To see again? The Ashford family. Okay, so this family sheltering them don't actually know of their heritage, eh? That's an interesting question. Where did the pinky promise come from? From the east or from the west? I never actually thought of that before. Okay, I suspect they're gonna be... Okay. You need to experiment on this, yeah. Oh, you can't use it consecutively? Oh, only once on the same person. That is a huge handicap! Huh. Okay. Really? But I would have liked him to test it out again on the teacher, like tomorrow or something, to make sure it's not just an internal cooldown of the ability. Ah. Oh. 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 Then they have to use this. Oh my god. uh... Okay. Now the battle begins. Oh? Surely. Nee. Huh, you're here as well? How does she navigate? Really? True champagne as well. Oh, pop! Oh. Well, I guess that is a sort of celebration. Okay, so I mean, this or are they going to have a conversation just like this? Oh, so Ashford is the... Is she going to try to pull him in or something? Oh. Nice going. Nice. I think they're about... Are they not? Okay. Nice move. How did he arrange? Oh. Okay. Absolute science party? Are they gonna say the cause of death? Suzaku. Oh. Oh. They need a martyr? Alright. See you guys after this. And well, the law of unintended consequences strikes again, and we have Suzaku caught up in the mix. Again, still quite ironic considering he was the hero of everything, and now he's being sacrificed as a scapegoat to the whole situation. But then again, I can understand the reasoning here, right? They need someone to take, they need to show that they are competent and that nobody can actually, you know, even their prince being assassinated is already quite a disgrace in itself. If they don't even know who the actual murderer was, who the actual criminal was, that would be even more of a failure on their part. So I can totally get the bureaucracy at work here, and it would make sense, right? Because he's not a pure Britannian or whatnot, so he's like the perfect scapegoat in everything here. But again, this just goes to show like what the unintended consequences that will happen if you don't completely plan things out. Now, to be fair to Lelouch, of course he couldn't know that Suzaku was also there at that time and was so involved in the entire situation, right? So, I mean, that's literally nobody could have predicted that. But I do still feel that he is jumping the gun a little bit too quick. I say that though, but see, here's my reasoning. By instantly killing the third prince, you're already alerting the Empire that there is this very strong enemy that has that exists in Japan in Area 11 that has had the power to to neutralize their army, and then also manage to sneak an assassin all the way to the prince's side and assassinate him, right? What that's going to do is that's going to cause a chain of reactions, right? So, at the very least, there's probably going to be an increased military or police presence in Japan. Alright, and it's going to be a much more focal point for the Empire here. You can presume that they will draw up more forces around the place, so on and so forth. And heck, even, I think this is a situation that could even call for martial law, right? And that is definitely going to stir things up. Although, from Lelouch's point of view, I have the feeling that that's probably what he wants to do anyways. He just wants to stir things up, right? Kick the hornet's nest and see what exactly is going to happen. Not to mention he's not anywhere near the hornet's nest anyway, so who cares, right? I think that's his reasoning here. He just wants to see some reaction and then navigate his plans from there, because that's all that he can do right now. Things need to go forward in order for him to continue planning ahead. So I think that's the reason why he did all that. Of course, knowing that the his ability does have such limitations on it, well, that came after, right? See, what I feel like if I were in that situation, I'd probably try out my mind control ability on the prince first, and maybe like give a very kind of like forget everything about this, you never saw me, blah 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 blah, but still ceasefire let himself have a self-made up excuse, right? Let him believe that he himself made up some kind of reasoning to ceasefire and so on and so forth. I would have liked to see him try that. Now, obviously, it wouldn't have worked, but we didn't know that until after the fact, right? So I feel like that would have been a good I mean, imagine this: if you could literally control the prince, the governor of Japan, you have him under your control at all times and whatnot. That would be a huge advantage to whatever you're trying to do later. But that's that, right? As for the entire backstory about Lelouch, so not exactly quite as I expected. I mean, certainly I'm not, well, from what I was expecting, especially with this kind of empire with lots of sons and whatnot, lots of princes, I was thinking more of a battle for the claim to the throne, right? Like, who exactly is going to inherit the empire, who's going to be the next empire. I was thinking more of that kind of conflict and everything, so I was also expecting them to actually target Lelouch instead of his mother. But from the context of this episode, we can see that instead there is another driving force within the empire, and that is class division, right? So what I'm thinking here is that the purebloods that they're talking about are pure Britannians, and possibly even pure nobles as well, right? In fact, I would say probably the latter here. So, if they did indeed come all the way, if this was an empire that was established all the way from back when, before the Revolutionary War and all that, and having this sort of class system, I can kind of see like why they would continue to have that sort of thinking and mindset into the modern world, right? So basically, nobility is nobility, we are the upper class, we are untouchable, that kind of thing. There's the middle class, but they're beneath us, and then of course, at the very bottom, there's the lower class, and so on and so forth, right? So it does seem that this is instead another big issue within the empire here. We can see that the Margrave is essentially one of these sort of more radical elements within the empire. And then, of course, the reasoning for killing Lelouch's mom is also because she was originally a commoner, right? She stepped up out of her class into the upper class, and some people just take offense to that, right? So, that's that for the backstory part. Obviously, they're still missing out some details, like later on, like how did Lelouch get all the way to Japan, and also why was he considered dead, and so on and so forth. What exactly happened there. I guess we'll be learning more of that in the future. Yeah, that's that. For the ability part. Now, I do feel like that was kind of a premature conclusion that the ability can only work on a person once. I would have liked him to test it out a little bit more, like maybe the next day, try it out on the teacher again to see if it works. Like, I wouldn't instantly think that it can only work on a person once. I would be thinking, hey, maybe there's some other sort of conditions you need to meet, or perhaps you need to, like you can only use it when nobody else is watching or whatnot. Well, no, that doesn't make sense because he mind controlled a complete group of people in the first episode. So beyond that, maybe like once you mind control someone, you can't mind control them again for the next 24 hours. That kind of thing. I would have liked him to try that out a little bit more. But let's say that is indeed the case, right? Let's say his conclusion is correct, and it's more of a general context of this anime, and we shouldn't dwell on that too further. If that was the case, then this is a really limited ability, and indeed something that you can only bring out as your final trump card, right? Which I guess ties in with him needing to rely more on his own intelligence and wit to survive the kind of situations that we see, which we already see in this episode, right? That move at the very end there was against what's her name? Shirley? Sorry, not Shirley. Shirley is his childhood friend. Callan, right? Callan. That move against Callan was 200 IQ, although he did expend up one very valuable charge of his mind control on his family maid, but I guess that was necessary, right, in order to make sure that Callan does not suspect anything. And so, this is kind of an interesting ordeal here. So it seems that Lelouch is still going to be taking on the role of the mysterious commander, and hey, he actually still made a promise to Callan to meet somewhere, right? So he's still going to have to handle that situation. Which is probably what's going to happen in the next episode. He's going to once again convince the rebels, convince them to, to do something about the situation in regarding Suzaku or whatnot. Obviously, not telling them to rescue him, but perhaps staging a diversionary attack or something, and so on and so forth. Or I don't know. In any case, that is still up for grabs. But indeed, that was some quick thinking there in order to have the perfect alibi, of course. And so yeah. What else? Anything else that we should mention from this episode? No, I don't think so. It was indeed fun seeing the transition from Lelouch to normal schoolboy self versus cold-blooded. Revolutionary, I guess you could say, cold-blooded radical, but I guess that's part of the charms of this anime. And man, Callan has a great body, as does Shirley as well. But then again, this was designed by Clamp, right? And like I mentioned before, Clamp always has these sort of character designs and whatnot. They're always very, very well proportioned. Let's just say that. Okay, and that is it for episode 3 of Code Geass. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.